come up with all kinds of things. Isn't there some guideline that they are only entitled to so much?
Well, they gotta substantiate what the actual costs are.
Right,
They
but
just
they
can't
can
pick a
dream a lot of
number out of
stuff
the
up.
sky.
What I'm wondering is, does the state have a guideline for that, or they just accept whatever they say? That's my point.
Yeah, that's hard because.
I mean, because you can invent anything you want to.
Well, you kind of
within reason.
You can
make it look good.
invent, but I'll make something up. Cass County has a separate social service offices, and they're part of the group.
Right.
Their indirect costs, and it's brand new,
right,
is greater than
Okay.
sharing a room in the Foster County courthouse that's 90 years old.
Right.
I mean, extreme in showing that example, but you're right. I don't know how the state wraps their head around 53 counties, and they're all different. And
that's just all like opening a can of worms up.
Well, but Abacus is the accounting firm that's created this, and I have yet to speak with any of my coworkers across the state of North Dakota or the social service directors that I've spoken to that understand that. Nobody does. And when she speaks, and I'm sure she's a very smart lady, but she speaks and, well, it's so simple. There's nobody in the room that understands it. I'm sorry, I am not a CPA, and most of my colleagues are not CPAs. She is speaking a language that is Greek to us, and I believe this will be the end of the abacus because people are frustrated, nobody understands it, and they're going to find a new vendor that hopefully is much better working with people in the trenches.
okay, all right. Well, it's only my opinion, but I would suggest putting some of that $1 million in a CD and make 10 grand on it. And if we can keep that, fine. If we can't keep it and it has to go to social services, that's fine too, at least.
It'll go to indirect costs or otherwise or whatever.
Right. Okay. All right. Any other questions there? CD, Dan, we talked about that already. We need an approval for those CDs. Motion to approve.
So move.
Moved by Brian.
Second.
Second by Young Brian. All good, those in favor say aye. Opposed? Carried. Just FYI, funds controlled by the commission is the next sheet. See that?
And this, again, this changes this month. It looks like you have more on that bottom line, and you do. There is more on that bottom line than you had a month ago, but it came out of CDs, and it's going to go right out the door as soon as we pay that bill. So don't have any illusions.
Any correspondence, Dan?
A couple of things. The park facility improvement grant is available again. I've included that in your packet.
You should have got that. Yeah, I got a letter for that.
In visiting with Carla, she doesn't really feel there's anything that we can or should do this year. Their focus is security in that building, and I don't think she's going to pursue that. So that is really and truly the correspondence. And other than that, not really anything else.
Okay. Portfolio. Boom. Anything?
We're gonna talk about it in the budget, right, Dan?
Yeah.
So I don't have. We'll be dealing with it.
Okay. Brian?
Nothing to bring up since Trey's coming in and explain some things.
Okay. Old Brian.
The Fair Board had a meeting, and
I could have been more derogatory than that. I'm being nice.
I'm surprised you are that nice. I don't expect anything different, but anyway, the Fair Board did have a meeting, correct, Brent?
Yes.
And they came to understand stuff about the drainage and things like that. And the county agent, I have nothing from there, so we're good. But there is some good understanding at this point, right, Brent?
Yes. It was a long hour meeting, but and I'll talk to you guys about that shortly.
Doc.
And Brent will talk about what we talked about too with Mike Kruger, which is really
interesting stuff. Other than that, nothing.
I didn't meet with Dan. If Dan has anything to share as far as my portfolio, he certainly can do that. Part of it would have been the payroll situation, but equalization office, Janet had a concern of not hers, but that sick leave is somewhat administered differently amongst department heads, and that we maybe periodically should address or look at policy manual as to sick leave. Now, if you're sick and gone, that's fine. Can you take sick leave to take your? This is my question. And can you take sick days to take your child to the doctor?
Certainly.
Can you? How about your mother?
Yes.
How about your mother-in-law? How about your next-door neighbor who's shut in and needs help? There's a gray area there, and she wasn't talking about herself, but there's some of that within the building that it's administered differently.
So you're saying it should that be sick leave or days, or take a day?
Well,
First,
I got no solution to that. I'm just reporting what he said.
And there's a certain amount of, I guess you trotted out the word earlier, it's ethics. Okay.
I did. I threw that.
The vast majority of county time is on the honor system.
Right. It is.
And if you're somebody who acts and works with ethics, this is never in doubt. I guess I've not heard this conversation. And if you want to know where I'm at on this, I don't chase people around. I expect you to report what you do. And if you can't do that, eventually life will catch up with you.
Right.
But I believe our policy states for direct family, just like our bereavement leave that we have a policy on that, and it states in there who the intended parties are. And there you can get into mother and father-in-law or son or daughter-in-law, those types of things. But I would believe that it would be direct family members. That would be a normal or reasonable interpretation.
The way the road department does it is, sick days are for you, your wife or your husband, any children in the household. Other than that, it is vacation time. We actually do not allow, we haven't been allowing a sick leave day for a mother, father, or for a mother-in-law, father-in-law. Immediate family, children, if children are sick, wife's got a doctor's appointment thing, or husband, we allow sick day. That's the way we manage our road department sick leave.
And to me, that's direct family members, and I do include in-laws, direct.
Did I hear you say that she said there's dirt in the department heads and
There's certain department heads will interpret that a little differently. And we just saw two of them here.
Yeah.
Direct.
Yep.
And he said mother-in-law also. So we're nickel diming it here. I think that was it's fine. I don't have any problems with it. I think Dan has a good point. All right. Other than that, I don't have anything.
We kind of follow the bereavement leave, like Dan stated.
Okay. All right. Any other comments that way? Regard. Larry, you're up.
Alrighty. Tammy's got some stuff that she's gonna hand out to you.
right on the zone.
We're here to talk to you about their culvert replacement over by Mark Schmitz's place, and they're gonna come up over here and settle down for this.
Excuse me.
You have more than one item?
Yeah, just two.
Oh.
The culvert that's in there is an 80 by 108 arch pipe, and there's not a lot of cover over the top of it, so it's starting to go down in the middle. We were able to get in there last winter on the ice, and looks like the culvert's failing underneath, but we were planning on doing an inspection this summer, but it's just, the water don't quit running. You know, it's flaking off, big chunks inside. So, had some calls, some people are kind of concerned, is it gonna collapse, going across with a truck or whatever. So we went to work and got some, instead of putting something that big in that's really expensive like that, we decided to go with 2 smaller pipes. And Brent got us a price, still about 27,000 roughly.
Yep, and them are one piece, 70-foot long pipe.
Okay, and they're 27,000. So
Total for 2 pipe.
Yeah,
About
delivered.
13,
That's delivered, correct?
delivered, right, a little over 13,000 per pipe delivered.
So
And that's the 72.
yeah, 272s.
Yep.
70
Beveled
feet
back.
long.
Beveled back on both ends 2 to 1.
So, and then we would put those in there, the small, barring we get the pipes in time.
One of the gentlemen that I spoke to yesterday said that they would have to make these pipe in Huron, not West Fargo, because we're asking for 70 feet in one piece, no bands. They told me 3 to 4 weeks minimum, but realistically 4 to 5. So realistically, I think we could have the pipes delivered by the 2nd week of October if I order them today.
So, Larry, why is it better to put 2 instead of
The big one, because there's not enough cover over the top of the pipe, and then eventually it'll be the same thing. Right now, there's about a foot of cover is all that's on top of that pipe. That's not enough for that.
And you're ordering them up without band, is that more expensive?
No, it's actually cheaper.
Really?
The bands are about $1,000 a piece, and in West Fargo, they'll only make a pipe once in a while out to 60 feet long, but they will make them 70 feet long in Huron. So there's no added price for a 1-piece pipe. It actually is $300 less because they charge you $150 for the lifting lugs. So we're only going to have 2 lifting lugs compared to per pipe rather compared to 4. And with them being beveled, that's 70 feet on the bottom. So 2 to 1 at the top of the pipe is probably my exact number, 60 feet, 60 or 58.
Well, it'd be 6 feet short on each end.
6 feet, 58.
Yeah.
So they can make these 70-foot pipes in Huron, and there is no added cost for it. And they'll ship them in a 70-foot length.
And they're just as easy to install without a band?
Actually,
Yeah,
easier.
way easier.
Yeah.
Contractors like it a lot better.
Yeah.
And
The
not
band
only
is
that, you
always
don't have bands that fail.
Yep, the band is usually the weak point, and usually the band's right in the center of the road on pipes like this.
so they show up, you got a contractor ready to.
So I guess we just need your approval for that.
Motion to approve?
Who's gonna put them in?
Brian should look at it. Well,
I move that we, approve the culvert project. for the water.
Motion by Doc, is there a second?
I'll
Second by Boone, any other discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Alright,
Opposed?
and the county pays for all of that since they're over the 60-inch thing, right?
Correct.
which is how much again?
About 27,000. I'll order them on the way back out to the chip seal.
Good deal, thanks. Next item, I spoke with you guys briefly, I think it was this spring one time, I was into a meeting, about spraying the James River out west of town. We got that diversion that's always a contentious subject. I was out there and inspected that area on Monday, and it would be, let's see here. I believe it's 18th Street, I think. That is the east-west gravel road north of this area. Rustland Township is the line there, and I believe that's the township line is the gravel road there. And at that location where the river crosses the road, the water's not even moving. There's no movement of water through the culverts at all. It's just sitting there. And culverts, I suppose, are probably not quite half full. So, and there's just areas in the river that need to be sprayed. So,
Chatfield.
yeah, cattail problems. I guess what we're kind of proposing is, since that is such a problem area all the time, just spraying, maybe from there to Mark Schmitz's. There's 2 miles in Rustland Township, about 3.5 in Forward, and 4 miles in Manfred. We pay the sprayer by the hour to do this, and they just fly straight. They don't spray the areas that don't have cattails. They just fly right over the top of them. And
This is a helicopter.
no, this is a drone.
Oh, a drone.
Yep.
Them new drones.
Yep. Yeah.
Bombers.
That's what we've been using this year. And it's really working good this year, killing the cattails.
Is it too late in the year to do it?
No, I don't believe so, because I think everything is so far behind, there's no tails on them or nothing yet. There's starting to, a few are starting to appear, but, what we've been doing now is working really well. The water was so high that we had to wait, normally we'd like to do it, end of July, beginning of August, but there's so much water running this year and we're behind on everything, it seems like.
You could do it like, if you're gonna do it, you gotta do it
Soon.
Tuesday, or, I mean.
Yeah, it'll be done very quickly, because he's basically, they're finishing up all of our drains this week that we were spraying, and, so I'm assuming it would be the end of this week or next week.
Well, it's supposed to be warm next week.
Yeah,
Heat helps, because
yeah,
obviously chemical work.
So it's, you spray it and it kills that stuff, does that help the water move then?
oh yeah,
It'll break
Yep.
that off?
Yep.
That'll be dead for 4 or 5 years.
yeah, we sprayed that, Tammy and I were
Yeah.
talking about that this morning, I think it was about 4 or 5 years ago, we had a helicopter spray it
Yeah.
in there. We did that, and we did the lower,
It's surprising how
Over 8
long that
miles.
lasts.
yeah,
We've sprayed smooths for cattails, for blackbirds already in the past, and
makes a
it's 4 or
difference.
5 years. It's gone, it's bare water.
Yeah.
Again.
You said wrestling forward and then pretty much.
Yes. Thought we would go, up to just past Mark Schmitz's place. It seems like once you get to that point, the river starts to move again. I know the state's was after us a couple of years ago to clean out, by the railroad, on 52, the 52 crossing and the railroad and through there. They wanted to get that water moving through there.
So what do you think this will cost, and who pays for it?
Well, last time we did it, I believe we did a 50-50 cost share, or between the two, the Waterboard and you guys. I would assume that'd be in a minute somewhere. Let's see.
Well, what we did last time.
I know, but wouldn't the weed board, have?
It's not a noxious weed though.
It should be.
Right?
I'm dead
you know what
serious
I
about
mean?
that.
Because there's
That
cost
cattail
sharing
should
there
become a
and
noxious weed, in all reality.
Yeah.
there's cost sharing there and there's some money there.
Right, there's money there, but.
There's money there, but I
Isn't
just,
that strictly prohibited noxious weeds though?
there's several different weeds on that list, but I don't
Canada
remember if
thistles
cattails are on.
or-
It's the cattail or
Or can a regular
South
weed
thistles.
become obnoxious if it impedes water, or if it does, is there language that?
Yeah,
That's a
I
good
mean,
point.
No
that-
idea.
Yeah,
First we
weed
could ask
board
the
has
weed
a lot
board
of money.
guys.
well, Dale would know.
Yeah.
Dale would know.
Well, that's good to check out.
I'll check that out.
Okay, maybe get back to me then.
dollars are we looking at to do this?
Yeah, what do you think this will cost?
I was just gonna look at this here, 2 miles. Isn't there cell systems along the river too?
10 miles.
Yeah, there's 10 miles. Probably end up spraying 6 to 8 miles maybe. And time wise, you're probably looking at, so I think the drone flies about 20 miles an hour. So you're not looking at a lot of time, but you got moving time and stuff too.
All right.
My guess is that
8 miles.
probably 2 hours worth of time maybe.
Oh my, that's all.
Yeah. It isn't a lot, it's gonna be the cost of the chemical.
That's
And-
not a lot.
You gotta use rodeo,
Right.
because it's glyphosate, aquatic approved glyphosate. So that runs, I believe that's around $40 a gallon.
Right, it's like double of what Ron.
And you do about a gallon per acre.
That cost share works with rodeo. It's no reason it shouldn't be under the weed board.
I would think
If
so.
they pay for the rodeo, I don't remember that
Oh,
particular
did you pay
name.
for rodeo?
I don't know that.
Oh.
I have to find that out.
Yeah.
So we're not talking a big cost here.
No.
Ballpark it for us.
Couple
Couple
thousand.
$1,000.
I would assume so. So, you guys are probably looking at your share, maybe 1,000,
Yeah.
1,500 for each of us or something. I'm not sure. Until you get in the area, you really don't know.
Any motion to cost share this, or what do you want to do? You want to give them the okay to do this? I think it's a good deal.
Maybe the weed board would kick in 25%.
Well, we we can approve it and then
Yeah.
go to the weed board.
And we'll get whatever other money we can
You don't wanna
get.
hook them for about part of it, you know?
I move we give them permission to get those
I'll second.
sprayed.
What kind of cost share? 50/50? We're gonna pay for half?
You think that's what we did last time?
Yeah, I'm positive that's what we did. We can look it up too.
I'm pretty sure it was.
I'll include that in the motion.
Okay. You're including
Yeah.
that in a second? All right, any other discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye. Opposed? Carried. All right.
Okay, just gonna give you a quick update on what's going on out east of town.